I was recently online with a nurse who was working in a hospital where there was a lot of people coming in to the emergency room and being put on ventilators. And she just couldn't get these thoughts out of her mind and these images of being there, of somebody being wheeled in, with their children crying and, and then pleading for help. And then they're not even being able to make real contact because they're wearing these hazmat suits. She was in such despair. And so we did a series of these awareness exercises. And at the end, she said, I really feel settled. So we did a session about a week and a half later. And, I asked her, how are things going? And she said, well, there's just as much illness and death that I'm exposed to on a daily basis, but it doesn't bring me down. It doesn't, I'm not in despair. I know what my job is. I do my job as best as I can. And then I go to the next person. And it's a lot, but it doesn't put me in despair. And she said also that a lot of times she would just go to the women's room and do some of these exercises if they felt that they were starting to get, to more stress, and then come back. So even just taking those few moments was enough to let her be helpful. And then also other people on the team noticed it. And so she guided them with some of these exercises after their shifts. So the whole group of people around the emergency room were doing these kind of exercises. This is an exercise which is really helpful when you have a sensation that seems strong. Very, very simple exercise, but very powerful. But also provisio, it can bring up different, it could bring up different emotions, and of course sensations. It definitely bring up different sensations. But the idea is to take an easy, full breath, and on the exhalation, to make the sound voo, as though it's coming from the gut, coming from the viscera. And then allowing the breath and the sound to go all the way out. And then allowing a new breath to come in, filling the belly and the chest. And then again, continue the voo sound, directing the vibration from the belly. And anybody who, is watching this online, you're invited. But again, just to know, it can bring up certain feelings and emotions, and of course sensations that that may have been there for a long time, but not acknowledged. So again, I take an easy full breath, and on the exhalation, make the sound voo, coming from the belly, and sustaining the sound and the voo, letting the breath and the sound go all the way out, then allowing the new breath to come in, filling belly, then chest, and again. So, vibrating it down here in the belly. And just rest and notice sensations, feelings, thoughts, images, and returning then to the sensation. So noticing the images or thoughts and then coming back to the body sensation. And just doing that as an exercise.